What is up, everybody? Appreciate you for tuning in. We are back for another edition of On the Ball podcast, except for we're on a Thursday, not Monday. But we'll be back to Monday next week. Got that out of the way. Go ahead and introduce the crew, then we'll get into these topics because we have a fun episode lined up for you. First off, top left, got Ian, Giants fan, getting into free agency. I know you're waiting for the news to come down on who your team's going to sign.
Oh
But how
yeah,
are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
All right. Good to hear that. Upper right, rocking the Mavericks jersey. Packers as well. We'll see what they do in free agency. He's not guarding the two, he's guarding the three. Brett, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Don't lie, Ian. I know you were devastated this past week. You saw that "Thank You, Evan Neal" graphic.
Yeah,
And I know you were in tears in bed, just eating that Ben and Jerry's.
yeah. I had my picture of Evan Neal cradled in my arms, crying. Yeah, it was a rough one.
Okay. I mean, hey. I had to watch, what was it? Celtics Hornets, and they gave like Xavier Tillman a tribute video. And I was like, all right, I guess. Sure, why not? I mean, he did hit like that one big three in the finals against the Mavericks. I guess that's worthy of it. Yeah, so we're going to talk about some NFL free agency. We're going to talk NBA and got trivia at the end, which obviously you guys tuning in, feel free to participate and drop your questions in the chat as well because we love to hear from you. So with that, let's get to our first conversation. Mike Brown made some comments about SGA. Okay, Brett is backstage. He'll be back. The Knicks faced the Thunder. There were some calls that the Knicks didn't necessarily like in terms of SGA. We know this has been a problem for the NBA for little time now. SGA and his baiting getting to the free throw line. So Mike Brown, let me make sure I get the comment correctly. SGA is a tough cover, and he does a great job of convincing the referees, probably better than anybody in the league, that he's getting hit. So when you hear those comments, what do you think? Do you think Mike Brown fair to say that, or kind of out of line? How are you feeling about that?
Well, I think SGA is terrific at getting to the free throw line. He is good at going contested, finishing strong, making sure that the contact is visible, doing all that. He's fantastic at it. He drives to the lane. He's a great team player for that, to give his team an opportunity to get points via the free throw line. However, there are some calls that are real soft, and then there's some calls that are blatant misses. And that's the thing I think that's the issue, is that you've got the soft calls and the blatant misses, and there needs to be, just like in every sport, there needs to be some way to kind of be straight with it and call the same game throughout the entire time, not call calls here and then not call them there.
Right. Brown, I don't know if you heard Mike Brown's comments, but basically just saying SGA is really good at convincing referees that he's getting hit. So my question to Ian, same one to you. Mike Brown, fair to say that? Or was he a little out of line and maybe trying to play the blame game for a loss to the Thunder?
A little bit of both, right? Because SGA is really good at convincing the refs that he got hit.
Mm-hmm.
And like the one that Mike Brown got a technical on, though, I can't even blame him for that. I'd gotten two technicals. Like the fact he stayed in the game after that was egregious. I don't know if you saw anybody who saw it. It's just like it was a clear as day charging call. Should have been SGA's third foul, but they just decided it was a no call play on. Mm-hmm. And it was just some really oddball officiating in that game. I think when it comes to Mike Brown's comments, it's a little bit of both. There's truth baked into that, but at the same time, I think there's a little bit of excuses baked into that. But I do think that at the end of the day, he's not wrong about SGA getting a lot of crazy whistles.
Yeah. And look, it's something that could be solved very easily on the court. The referees just allow some of these to probably be a no call and just let it go. Not everything necessarily has to be a foul or not. But I guess weirdly enough, looking at the stats though, I mean, SJ is not the league leader in free throw attempts. I probably guess. I mean, you probably could guess who's number one.
I think it's like Luca, and then ironically, I think in second is like Denny Advia.
So Avdia and SJ attempt the same amount of free throws, and yes, Luca is number one. You know, James Harden's four, Paolo, actually Harden and Paolo are tied for fourth. They got Jokic, Booker, even Zion's up there. So it's not necessarily just an SGA problem, but I guess because they are the reigning champs and everything involved with that, he's probably the most prominent with it. But look, like I said, referees could control this if they wanted to. We know they probably won't, but they are the ones who could curb a lot of this behavior.
Yeah, the conversation's just on them, like you said, because they're, bigger markets. Well, OKC being the reigning champs, they're the center of attention right now. Luka being on the Lakers, but it's just kind of a league-wide problem. Like, if you watch a Portland Trailblazer game, I promise you, Denny Advia is not getting ethical whistles. Like, that man might have more egregious whistles than SGA half the time. So it's definitely not just they're favoring SGA and Luka. Just it feels like just half the time they can't figure out what the rules are, and they're just not consistent with it.
Right. And then we get to the postseason, and they allow a little bit more physicality on the perimeter and everything, which I always say, why not just translate that to the regular season and just make that the way you call the games? I understand why you need this separation of regular season to the playoffs. What's up, Jory? Okay. So, look, the Knicks did lose that game, lost by 3. So, it was a good game, I will say. The conversations after did kind of dampen kind of the quality of the game. Two teams who have aspirations to make it to the finals, of course. But, we'll see what comes of this. Sometimes if you make enough public noise about something, maybe you get a little bit of a correction. I mean, it is SGA. He's going to get his foul calls. But so moving on, sticking with the NBA, one of the hottest teams in the league, the Charlotte Hornets, which I had to watch this live. Well, not live. I wasn't there, but I watched them destroy the Celtics. To the point that now Tatum's coming back on Friday. So I guess I should be thanking the Hornets for doing that. There's no correlation, but Jason Williams talked about the Hornets, and he said when you look at them, they're like a younger version of the Celtics, which obviously Charles Lee came from the Celtics, so it would make some sense that he would try to kind of implement the same style. But I question, with the Hornets, I guess, do they have the makeup to kind of pay this off and become a top 6 team in the East? Not just a play-in team, but an actual playoff team, top 6, like I said. They are 32-31. They're finally above 500. And I think I wrote it down. They have 6 guys who average in double figures. So they give you depth, with Brandon Miller, who's kind of taking over the mantle as the guy. You still have LaMelo Ball. You got Con Canuppos having a great rookie season. Even Colin Sexton, Kobe White, who since going over there has played really well. Their point differential, they're 5th in the East. They are playing really well, and they're looking like a team that might be catching fire at the right time. So how much do you really buy into them as a legit team in the East?
Define legit team. I think this could be.
I would say
Because
obviously they're not like a top 2 or 3 team, but that next group where you're looking at Raptors, Philly, the Magic, Hawks, teams like that. Can they stand out from that group?
Oh yeah, no, I actually think that they're gonna make the playoffs, and I think they could actually end up getting all the way up to 5. I don't think it's improbable that they pass the Raptors. Right now they're 5 and like about 4.5 games back.
Mm-hmm.
This almost feels like, you know what's funny about this team is the Charlotte Hornets, and I might sound crazy for this in a couple months, but that's all right.
Mm-hmm.
So this could be like a 2021 Atlanta Hawks run. Like the playoffs are all about getting hot at the right time. And if the Hornets keep playing like this and stay this hot going into the postseason, why not? Like they could very well they can compete with any of these teams above them. Like obviously I think a team like the Celtics would give them trouble. I think Detroit would give them trouble. But if this team, if they play like they have been recently, and this somehow carries all the way into the playoffs, like if you told me that this team ended up going nuts and making like the Eastern Conference Finals, it wouldn't surprise me actually. I don't think they're a threat to win the finals, but I think not only is this team legit, that if they keep playing like this, they can make a seriously deep playoff run and catch a lot of people off guard come, April and May.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, Ian, are you feeling, I guess, as good as Brett is about this team? You have some hangups with them. Like, what do you view about this Hornets run that they're on?
Like if you would have asked me like at the start of this season, if I thought the Hornets would be that great, I would have told you no. But starting to find their groove, Concanopoulos really just lighting it up his rookie season, and I can't give enough compliments to him. That was a great pick for the Hornets, great addition for them offensively. He's just a real pure shooter for them, and then also someone to complement LaMelo Ball that helps LaMelo actually be able to score efficiently as well. So I think they're heating up at the right time, and like Brett said, hot teams right before the playoffs, that's just a perfect recipe for success. So I definitely think that they could make a push and surprise some people.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like most teams, matchups will matter. What's up, Kerm? Charles Lee. Yeah, look, he had a great teacher, Joe Mazzulla. I mean, he's also from the Bucks staff as well. Brandon Miller is hooping too. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. He is their leading scorer. I think a little over 20 a game. I believe LaMelo's at like 19. Canuple's at like 19. Sexton and White are like 13, 12, that area. And there's one more I keep forgetting. Oh, Bridges. Duh. Well, there's good enough reason to forget Bridges, but yeah, he's in double figures as well. I think my thing with them, like I love the 6 players in double figures. Like that's great and everything. Now, Ian, you did bring up LaMelo Ball. I'm not the biggest LaMelo Ball guy. I do think he has his moments, and a lot of them are. Oh, Sexton isn't there. My bad. Look, you got me, Kerm. All right. I was looking at the stats really quickly. I saw his name. I didn't put together that.
Still reeling from that Hornets meeting. We got to cut him some slack.
Man, I was like, I kind of expected it because I do think what the Hornets are doing right now, like they are fun to watch. They are playing like how I feel like a lot of young teams in the NBA should play. They're kind of just playing free. They're getting out. They're running. Like that's what makes them fun to watch. My hang-up is with LaMelo. He can be inefficient. Like he's attempting like 17 shots a game. He's only shooting 39% from the field. He shoots 36% from 3. I almost wonder if he took his shots down to like 14, 15, gave a couple more to Concanople, Brandon Miller, they might be even better off by doing so. But not to take anything away from him, like I said, for a young team to kind of turn it around the way they have midstream says a lot about Charles Lee and those players. I don't want to completely dampen it with the LaMelo Ball stuff, but yeah.
with LaMelo, I don't even think it's a volume thing. Like, you could take some shots away from him, and I don't think his efficiency is going to change that much. It's the selection of shots that's the problem with LaMelo.
Right.
I don't think it's volume. You take 17 shots, 20 shots, 14 shots. It's going to have low volume efficiency pretty much always because, well, we saw the highlight, right? He hit a one-legged three against the Celtics. The problem is, they don't show the other 9, he misses before that.
Yeah.
He takes a lot of his shots like it's street ball, and I think that's what kind of makes him fun to watch because he's unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
And I love watching him. I think he's great. But if he wants to up his efficiency, I think it'd be pretty easy. He says to trade in some of those crazy shots for some higher quality looks at the rim. He's a 6'7" point guard. He can carve his way to the rim when he wants. But it's funny though. I will say that kind of shot selection with the tough shots tends to translate well in the playoffs. Like, I think that's why a big reason why guys like, Kobe translated well in the playoffs, because when the defense is tightened up, it didn't matter. Those were the shots he took anyway. That's why guys like Hakeem did well in the playoffs. Didn't matter. Those are the same shots he took anyway. So the one benefit I will say about LaMelo just doing this is now in the playoffs when the defenses get tighter, I don't think it'll phase him that much because he's just going to keep hooping like LaMelo, and I think that might be a benefit come playoff time.
Absolutely. I do agree with that. Because look, a one-legged three in the playoffs is a backbreaker. And that then kind of goes to the other team to kind of respond to that. And, they'll be playing with house money. We, love that saying. But because of that, I think they're allowed to go into the playoffs kind of naive. Sure, they'll make mistakes, but nobody's going to really kill them for it. And look, they could be on a trajectory somewhat like the Pistons. Pistons were that team that seemed like they were always a year away. Then they kind of figured it out, and they had their opportunity a couple of years ago against the Knicks where they really showed something, but their inexperience kind of came through late in games. And they lost that series, and now look at them now. One of the best teams in the conference. Not to say that the Hornets will vault that much like next year or the year after, but it seems like they're finally growing to something. All right. Let's see. So those in the chat, appreciate you commenting. Keep it going. If you have your own comments about the Hornets, drop that in the chat as well. All right, let's go. NFL. Free agency kicking off. We had some news already, like DJ Moore is going to the Bills because we knew the Bills were going to get a wide receiver one way or another. Stephon Diggs gets released by the Patriots. Bunch of other stuff. There's a couple of things that I feel like are very interesting that I want to get your comments on. First off, Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray, a guy who, I guess if you look at skills, you'd say very skilled player. When it comes to kind of like the little details and nuances of a quarterback, he kind of falls short. Plus, durability's been an issue. So the Cardinals have cut him. I mean, the Cardinals have a decision, like if they designated after June 1st, I think they can spread the cap hit over 2 seasons. If they do it before that, it's just one fell swoop for this year, and then they can wipe it clean next year. But with Kyler Murray now out there in the quarterback market, which is kind of being led by Malik Willis, where's the best place for Kyler Murray to play? Like, there are some teams out there that probably need to look at their quarterback situation and really have to tell themselves if Kyler Murray is a good option for them. So, Ian, where do you think Kyler Murray best fits for next season?
Oh, boy. Where do I think that Kyler Murray best fits? Probably the Oakland A's. I'm just kidding. No, I could see. Here's my issue with Kyler.
Okay.
Kyler over the years has never really had a target that he really force-fed, that he could really rely on in those moments. I mean, yes, he did have D-Hop for a little bit, and he thrived with D-Hop. But he's never really had a consistent wide receiver one that was constantly going 1,000-yard back-to-back seasons. The last time they went to the playoffs was in 2021. He threw for 3,700 yards, not a single receiver over 1,000 yards. And then also with the comment that he made in 2023 about Marvin Harrison Jr. and it not being his job to get him the ball. That's when you have a number one receiver, you've got to have a quarterback and an offensive coordinator that's going to design plays to get your number one guy the ball. Kyler doesn't care who it is. So I think the best fit for him, honestly, I think he should probably go somewhere like Cleveland and go there, help those guys a little bit. I mean, you're going to have Monken, who's helped Lamar, who's also a very athletic quarterback. That might help Kyler just settle in a little bit and actually develop his pass game and also help with that escapability aspect and keep him healthy and make sure that he's actually getting rid of the ball instead of consistently trying to scramble. Because I think that was something that Monken really helped Lamar take to the next level for himself. So I think the Cleveland Browns, even though they do have a quarterback room with rookies, you get him in there, he doesn't work out, you've got those rookies to fall back on. But I really think that Monken, pairing Murray with Monken would probably be a best fit for him.
Okay. So, Ian's trying to add to the bottom line spending for quarterbacks with the Cleveland Browns, which, I think, Cleveland has their own situation with Deshaun Watson, obviously. But I believe with him, they can move off of him next offseason.
Right.
So this is kind of like their last year really dealing with the Deshaun Watson stuff. So I guess if Kyler Murray was a guy that they wanted to focus on post Deshaun Watson, I guess that could make some sense. Brett, are you thinking Cleveland or are you thinking somewhere else for Kyler Murray?
I have a different team in mind, but I think Cleveland's an interesting idea. And I think that here's the thing with Sanders is he was very up and down and inconsistent last year.
Mm-hmm.
I think another year just kind of being able to sit a full year and fully analyze and just kind of another year just learning from some vets would probably help him out quite a bit. You sign Kyler to like a 1-year contract, then both him and Watson are off the books. You now have a Shedeur Sanders that can not only learn from someone like Kyler Murray, you also have a guy that also has some game reps. So I don't think it's a bad idea, actually. And if we're thinking about long-term development for Shedeur, something like that might just help him. Throwing him into the fire next year probably might not be the best idea. When it comes to Kyler Murray, though, I think Shedeur will have all the chance to be QB1 because there's one team that makes too much sense for him. They went 9-8 last year without a real quarterback. Of course, I'm talking about the Minnesota Vikings. All the weapons in the world. You're already, you come into a room with Jettas, Addison.
Mm-hmm.
Hawkinson showed some signs of decline, but he's still very clearly a good weapon.
Yep.
I'd imagine they keep Aaron Jones around. So I think that I'm going to end up seeing him 2 times a year because I genuinely think that his best fit is probably just in Minnesota. Or he can go to the quarterback graveyard that is the New York Jets. But I'm going to go with Minnesota.
Okay. So you're setting yourself up for those Kyler Murray versus Jordan Love conversations. They're ready to fire those off.
Those conversations died like 2 years ago. But you know what? Sure, why not?
Look, Jordan Love went through this past season where a lot of conversations involved him that, I don't know, some of it was kind of unfair, but it seems like he's now in the crosshairs of a lot of these analysts and sport talking heads on TV for whatever reason.
I mean, honestly, though, that's good because if you're like, that's what happens when you're kind of trending towards being an elite quarterback, right?
Sure. They
don't just sit there and hey, let's have discussions about Joe Flacco today. Like you shout out to Pro Bowler Joe, but it's all right. I love what Jordan Love's at, and I'm very confident that we still beat the Vikings with or without Kyler Murray next year.
Okay.
Wait, when does the next COD drop? Does that drop when the Packers play the Vikings?
I'd have to see the schedule, but I'm guessing one game before, one after. So we're going 1-1 next year.
Kyler might be out that game.
I mean, look, I think you both bring up possible places for him that would make some sense. I mean, I know Anthony put in here what's going on, Anthony, about the Shedeur Sanders part of it. I also think Cleveland's going to give Deshaun Watson like a legit shot to win that competition for at least a year. I think Dylan Gabriel's probably a guy who's on his way out, but I don't know, because you look around the league, there are some interesting teams where I don't know if they're going to be involved in the Kyler Murray sweepstakes, but just to throw out a couple. You have the Rams, who have to start thinking post-Stafford. Sean McVay, I don't know if he what he feels about Kyler Murray, but it's a guy that he does see twice a year. So maybe there's a spot. You have the Steelers, who I guess they're trying to convince Aaron Rodgers to come back for one more year, but they're an organization that's really struggled to find like a legit quarterback since Big Ben. I guess the Raiders, who obviously are trying to get Mendoza, but if they didn't want to necessarily throw Mendoza out there right away, they're going to move off of Geno, get Kyler Murray work out there. So I do think he's going to have somewhat of a market, and I guess that's a good one for you there. The Falcons. Penix is hurt. Kirk's on his way out. They're going to need somebody under center. Why not? I mean, I'm sure Falcons fans will jump to those Mike Vick conclusions really quickly, but I don't know. Falcons aren't like a terrible roster necessarily. I mean, the coaching was part of the problem, but they've made a change there. That could be an interesting spot. I don't know if they would do it, but yeah.
Yeah, the thing I don't understand with the Falcons, though, is that the start of the season when they had Penix play, it was kind of mediocre the whole season. And then after he gets hurt and Kirk Cousins comes in, all of a sudden they're hanging with every single team that they're playing against. And it's like, why are you going to move on from Kirk now after he just showed you what he could do with a more efficient offensive coordinator? It just baffles me. I don't understand why.
I feel like some of that is Kirk kind of wanted out last year. They just didn't do it. Because remember, offseason Kirk was like he'd rather go to Cleveland and start because I think he wanted to play for Stefanski, which oddly enough, Stefanski's now in Atlanta. But I don't know. The Falcons have to figure this out because they put themselves in this situation when they did the whole sign Kirk to the $100 million and then turn around and draft a quarterback 8th overall. When they could have used that pick on somebody maybe to help Kirk, they brought in competition. That's once again, that's their doing. They have to worry about their first round pick from last year, who may not even be playing football anymore.
Yeah, he's done.
And they don't have a first round pick this year. I don't know.
Yeah, I think James Pierce is done. I don't see him coming back.
Yeah. For Anthony, I will say Falcons are an interesting team to throw into the mix.
Also, I feel like if you bring in Kyler, I think it'd be better than bringing back Kirk because Kyler would just be a lot cheaper. And I genuinely hope Kyler can play as well as 2026 Kirk Cousins. Otherwise, probably should just be going to play for the St. Louis Battlehawks if he can't at least reach that level of play.
Yeah. True. I guess another team we didn't bring up, the Dolphins.
That's where Malik Willis is going.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's where Malik's going.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, Halfley obviously will try to bring him down there. Okay, so we talked about Kyler Murray. So I want to look at, I guess, one of the teams who are in the market for Kyler Murray. So I guess, Brett, I kind of know your answer to this because you're saying he should go there. But would you rather, for the Vikings quarterback, stick with JJ, develop him more? I thought that's probably the unpopular one. Bring back Kirk Cousins. Nice little reunion. You like that. Or other, being Kyler Murray, or somebody else. I almost said Anthony Richardson. I'm not going to put that on Vikings fans. Like, that's another market I'm fascinated to see who's trying to get Anthony Richardson. But
no, I need that for Vikings fans. I need a camp battle of JJ McCarthy and Anthony Richardson. It would be the greatest thing ever.
I mean, do you think JJ McCarthy's like broken at this point? Or is he a guy that if you brought in a vet maybe to take the starting job next year and gave him some time to whatever build confidence back up or just develop more that you could turn back to him maybe in a couple of years and he might be a better quarterback? Or is he just kind of just mid?
Maybe. I think the problem is he just was never that good. I think KOC and them just kind of overbetted them on themselves, right? I think JJ McCarthy could bounce back and maybe just end up being like a practice squad or like some bad team's backup quarterback, but I just never thought he was that good. I thought it was a weird draft pick from the choice.
Mm-hmm.
Drafting I know the argument was he won a national championship, and the counterpoint is, well, he kind of threw 10 passes and they won by 3 scores. So it's one of those things where, like, sure, they can build up his confidence. Maybe he can become like a quality backup, but I just don't think there's that much more upside to JJ than just a decent backup. And even then, that's just, to me, a best case scenario for him.
Yeah. Okay. So I feel like I'm going to change this question because I feel like by throwing Kyler Murray, he probably becomes the obvious answer. So I'm going to say stick with JJ, reunite with Kirk Cousins, or other not named Kyler Murray. And I guess Malik Willis, because we're assuming he just goes to Miami to reconnect with the coach that he knows. So who would you rather for the Vikings quarterback next season? And Brett, take your Packers hat off. Because you'd probably answer like, I don't know. I don't even know.
Give me a quarterback room of JJ McCarthy, Anthony Richardson, and Max Brosmer. Best for the Vikings long term, no. Yeah, the answer is very clearly just Kyler Murray.
I took Kyler Murray out of this. It's other not named Kyler Murray or Malik Willis.
Probably other.
You gotta give me a name now.
Man, not Malik, not Kyler. It's really scarce at that point. You probably just bring back Kirk Cousins at that point. Because this is kind of a weaker QB market once you get behind them.
Yeah, I guess technically they could draft another one, but not necessarily the strongest quarterback draft either. I guess Ian, who would you rather?
So this is tough for me because I feel like the NFL kind of has like a QB development problem. We've seen a lot of QBs leave their situations and prosper elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, though, JJ playing 10 games and only throwing 1,600 yards, whereas Carson Wentz comes in for 5 and throws for 1,200. That's a big difference right there.
Yeah.
He's off timing with his throws. He's under pressure. He's forcing throws. He's very uncomfortable in that pocket. I think his biggest thing is just trying to get comfortable. Once he gets comfortable in that pocket and he just has more time, I feel like JJ could be a semi-decent quarterback. I don't think he's going to be an elite quarterback by any means, but I think he's going to be a quarterback that could be a game manager, keep you in games, and not be what he was last season, because that was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
But I do feel like he could be a decent quarterback that could win you some games, get you in the right spot. I don't think he's your franchise guy. That being said, I would look elsewhere. I would go with other for my option. Bring in somebody, beef up the competition, whether you draft somebody, maybe, I don't know what pick they have, but maybe if you wanted to draft, In my opinion, the two best quarterbacks in the draft are Beck and Mendoza. So obviously Mendoza is going 1, but then maybe take Beck, see how that competition goes. And
I'm assuming the Vikings are probably picking in the teens area.
yeah, I don't think Beck's a first rounder. I don't think
Yeah.
maybe some QB needy teams are going to push for that, but
Okay.
Say it like honestly, like I'd rather have 43-year-old Aaron Rodgers than JJ McCarthy if I'm the Vikings. Like this was a team that was literally, even with how bad the QB play was, they were right on the doorstep of a playoff spot.
Mhm.
Like at that point, like, are you trying to tell me that I can't, plug and play Jimmy Garoppolo and he can't give me a better production than what JJ McCarthy was given? Or like, Mitchell Trubisky, like you probably could give me what JJ gave me last year. Now, obviously, at some point, like maybe in 2027, they might have to trade up and try to get that franchise QB of the future. But for next year, especially when you're looking at a team like this who are absolutely in win now mode, even though it doesn't look like it, but when you're $46 million over the cap, I'm going to assume you're in win now mode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you try to get the best quarterback you could possibly afford and go from there.
Okay. Anthony, you think Justin Jefferson would have input? I mean, if I'm Justin Jefferson, he's probably like, go get me Joe Burrow. I don't care how you do it. Get me Joe Burrow. I would hope that they would ask their star wide receiver who he would like to see. I'm kind of surprised a name that didn't come up. Mac Jones. Seems like Mac Jones probably created some. Anthony, how I come up with the name? You literally type it as I just said it. Yeah. So Mac Jones is the guy who showed with the Niners he could play at a high level, and if you can't get Kyler Murray or you flirted with Aaron Rodgers last season, if he doesn't go up there, Mac Jones could be a guy that gets you maybe to 10 wins.
Yeah, Mac Jones looked very comfortable, and he was tremendous at keeping the 49ers afloat this past season, especially with all the injuries, or with the injury to Brock Purdy and the injuries on defense for the 49ers. So, yeah, I totally blanked on him. But, yeah, he would be a great fit for them, too.
I'd like it. Like I said, at the end of the day, if I'm not being a homer, the quarterback just has to be anybody whose jersey number isn't 9.
Right.
What if JJ gives his number to the next QB?
Oh, yeah. What? I'm 7 now. He's 9.
Get the meme off of me. Put it on him.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think – I don't know if I would close the book on JJ yet. Like, I do think there's something there, but it kind of leads to the whole rumor that during the draft, the Vikings were trying to move up to get Drake May, actually, and then they kind of settled on JJ McCarthy. So I don't know, maybe the Vikings were hoping, like, because remember, JJ McCarthy was like the combine quarterback that shot up draft boards. Mm-hmm. Maybe they were hoping like he was going to shoot up enough that some team's going to go crazy and take them before they had to pick, but then they needed a quarterback. He was there, and they took him. So I do want to go back to you, Ian, though, because you said Carson Beck, second best quarterback. I'm not a Carson Beck guy. I think he might literally be J.J. McCarthy to me. I don't know. I saw him enough at Georgia. I was not a fan. He went to Miami. Yeah, Miami was good. I just think that I don't know. I think something is fraudulent about him. Problem is, in this quarterback draft class, there's going to be arguments for a couple of guys as the second best. I mean, I'm hearing Ty Simpson. Like, I don't know. It's like Mendoza and then a pretty big drop-off.
It's just a big drop-off after Mendoza. I just think more about, like, his experience and the amount of years he's had in college and his attempts. I think it's going to help him a little bit. Be more pro-ready than any of the other quarterbacks. Besides Mendoza, I feel like Mendoza is probably easily the most pro-ready quarterback out of this draft class, but I think just based off of his experience in college and how many years he's been, because he's been in there 6 years.
I can't.
The past 2 years, he hasn't even gone to school. He's already graduated. He's just playing to play. So, I mean, like, I just think based off his experience and his dedication to football and staying at the college level to kind of like refine his game, regardless of the person that he is and how good I think he is, I think that's just kind of going to push him over the others.
Okay. Like I said, let's see. Carson Beck reminds me of Stetson Bennett. Was Stetson Bennett even overhyped? Not really. I get what you're saying, Anthony. But yeah, I don't know. Beck, I feel like people will be fooled by the whole Miami success and take him and then realize that he's just a guy.
I feel like if you're taking Carson Beck with anything earlier than like a day 3 pick, you're just going to be angry with yourself.
Oh yeah, like he's not a first round, second round, third round. If you get him in the 4th round, sure, go right for it. But I wouldn't take him any of those.
Like I said, give me the 5th round. He's weird. He's a pocket passer that has at times shoddy pocket awareness. So like, I don't know how that translates to the next level. Like he just confuses the crap out of me. It's like, oh, I'm a pocket passer, but it's like, okay, how can you be a pocket passer if your pocket awareness isn't up to speed? Like it doesn't. I think it worked for him at the college level, but I think that's something that will just kill him at the NFL level.
Okay, so while you were saying that, I had to, indulge in the player comp lookup because these always fascinate me. So Carson Beck, I don't know who did this, but has drawn comparisons to NFL quarterbacks like Davis Mills, Josh Allen, Matt Ryan, Jared Goff, and Ryan Tannehill. That is the widest range ever. Like I don't even know what to do with that.
He's either the league MVP or he's like hardly a backup quarterback. Which one is it?
So I did the same thing and just looked it up and it's like Carson Beck's top pro comparison is frequently cited as Eli Manning due to his solid pocket presence. But he often acts more of a game manager than a dynamic playmaker, similar to Aiden O'Connell. Wait, what?
Right, like he is the absolute like shot in the dark in this whole thing. Like, because just seeing this, like you said, Brett. So he's either a league MVP Matt Ryan, or he's Davis Mills that probably the average NFL fan couldn't tell you where he was playing in the league. And then Ian's looking it up. He's either Eli Manning or Aiden O'Connell.
A 500 QB or on the bench.
Yeah. Like that's crazy. But hey.
All I'm saying is Tom Brady comes back in the league. Maybe Carson Beck is the guy's got to watch out for to beat him next in the Super Bowl. He's getting those Eli comparisons.
Yeah.
Wait, didn't Daniel Jones get Eli comparisons too, and that's why the Giants drafted him?
Yeah. I mean, comparisons are always just.
I feel like he just
set you up to fail.
Yeah.
But that was like based on how he looked. He just had
big forehead.
Yeah. He had that like Manning forehead.
Yeah.
That's our guy.
Because look, we're gonna see it when we get to the NBA draft. Comparisons in the NBA are even wilder. Like we'll hear during the March Madness, some announcer will say that guy looks like Tracy McGrady, and you'll be like, no, he doesn't. Like, stop that.
I'm in a Bucks Facebook chat, and the one time after we drafted Marjon Beauchamp, somebody asked, who does his play style remind you of? And somebody said Tracy McGrady. I'm like Spurs Tracy McGrady?
Yeah. Like
late stage Atlanta Hawks Tracy McGrady? Because there's no way.
Yes.
Look, I don't know. These people get paid well enough to make these comparisons, but yeah, if you're Carson Beck and you're sitting there, probably not in the green room. I hope he doesn't put himself through that, but he's sitting at home and he's like, these teams think I'm Aiden O'Connell or Matt Ryan. All right. I feel comfortable.
Yeah.
I feel like their problem with player evaluations is people just feel like they have to aim high when it's perfectly okay saying that this guy's going to be an average starter, right? Like, you don't need to say, like, oh, Carson Beck is going to be like Josh Allen. You know that's a lie. You know he's not going to be that. Like, I feel like that's just the problem with these player comps. When people player comp, they're like, what superstar is he like? It's like, what if I one up you? What if he's just not like a superstar? What if he's just not a superstar? Like, it's okay being that middle of the pack quarterback. Like, dog, they get paid a lot of money to be middle of the pack, so it's cool.
Yeah. I mean, look, being a backup isn't a terrible job. Hold a clipboard, make a couple million. Why not?
Yeah. $8 million, sit on the bench, don't get hurt.
Say, come in for a couple starts, you ball out enough, you can get like a quick $20 million contract and
be like Matt Flynn.
Yeah. Throw for 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, I remember game. That hype. Yeah.
Seahawks go all in.
Didn't even start for him. That was so great.
Yeah.
Or Nick Foles into Jaguars.
But that's how this league works. You know.
Hey, Malik Willis in about like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Malik Willis went from, a guy who was kind of mocked with Tennessee. Then he has like a couple of good games with Green Bay. And they were saying like he's the best quarterback in the class. They're like, he could turn the Jets around. And it's like, calm down. Like Malik Willis obviously has developed, yes, but let's not put too much on him right now.
No. Known quarterback developers, the New York Jets are really going to develop a quarterback all of a sudden. They haven't done that since like Chad Pennington, but sure, they're going to figure it out now all of a sudden.
Yeah.
That's why I want to see what they do as well. Because they're not.
Yeah, who was filling in Aaron Glenn while he was taking a nap?
Look, Aaron Glenn's like, I'm just here to check out a couple of people. Got the scouting department to help me with the quarterback. I'm just taking a little nap. Not his fault. NFL Network decided to just pan a camera over to him. Like, is this guy sleeping? And then now, it's on Sports Center, everything. And the crazy thing was like, it was like the jolt up where he probably felt like the camera was on him. And then he's like he's really intently paying attention. It's like, you doze off. It's okay, Aaron Glenn. You're saving that energy for the season when you're going to be yelling a lot.
Yeah, he better.
Yeah.
Gonna have to have more energy than he had this last season. Oof.
He had that sideline dance.
Oof.
Didn't they eventually lose that game anyway? So
he has a
all for nothing.
Right.
He has a signature win versus the Bengals somehow, so
and he does hold the record now too, so greatest coach.
There you go. Hey. It's Aaron Glenn's world. We're just living in it.
Does somebody get him a mug that says that? World's greatest coach?
Why not? Michael Scott in The Office gave himself world's best boss.
Yeah.
All right. So, almost coming up on an hour. Let's get into trivia. So, last week we did, the challenge of a category naming guys. Trying a little something different this week. Those of you watching, if you want to join in, feel free to. So what we're going to do this week is I have 3 categories, 2 are NBA, 1 NFL, and I'm going to give you 5 players in that category. You just have to rank them based on where they fit in the category. So first one is rebounds per game this season in the NBA. So hope you got your pen and paper. Your 5 players are Jalen Duren, Alperen Sengun, Wemby, Donovan Clingan, and Bam Adebayo. So rank those 5 based on rebounds per game this season. And when you're done, let me know. And we'll see if you guys can rank them correctly. So if you're in the chat, once again, Jalen Duren, Alperen Sengun, Wemby, Donovan Clingan, and Bam Adebayo. So let me know when you're done. We'll see how well you can do.
I'm ready.
All right. So as Ian is finishing up, I will tell you all, since we will be back on, I guess, Mondays next week, you probably have to tune in because we'll probably do our first mock draft. And, the way we usually do it on here, we each take our teams. So Ian will represent the Giants, and Brett will represent the Packers, and I will be the Patriots representative, and we'll have a lot of fun with that. And then you guys can rate our draft.
Actually, I'll have to take like the Buffalo Bills or something because the Packers don't have a first this year.
Well, I guess we could do. Let's want to do a couple of rounds, but I mean, you as the Packers, you could trade into the first round.
Oh, fair. Like I said, I can do the Packers if we go that far. Otherwise, I could just do like Buffalo. They're my second team.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, I'm ready.
All right. I'll start with you, Ian. Who do you have at number 5?
Number 5, I have Alperen Sengun.
Okay. Brett, who do you have at number 5?
Bam.
The point goes to Ian. It is Alperen Sengun at number 5. All right. Ian, who do you have at 4?
I have Clingan.
Okay. Brett, who do you have at 4?
I also had Kling Kong.
4 is Bam Adebayo. No points there. Start with you, Brett. Who do you have at number 3?
I had Wemby.
Okay. Ian?
I had Bam.
All right. 3 was Jalen Duren. All right, Ian, who do you have at 2?
I have Jalen Duren.
I had
Brett,
Sengun.
All right, 2 was Wemby. So I'm guessing neither of you had Clingan at number 1.
No, I had
Duren.
Yeah. So Clingan, 11.5 rebounds. Wemby's at 11.1. Duren's at 10.8. Bam is 9.9. And Sengun at 9.2 rebounds a game. All right, so Ian got 8 points. Got another one for you. This one is team field goal percentage this season. Here are your 5 teams. The Brett's Milwaukee Bucks, the Raptors, the Clippers, the Knicks, and the Cavs. This is field goal percentage this season. So once again, let me know when you have them. Like I said, if you're watching and you want to rank them as well, you could drop them in the chat. So once again, you got the Bucks, the Raptors, the Clippers, the Knicks, and the Cavs. Rank them based on team field goal percentage.
I'm ready.
Okay. I'll be interested to see where Brett puts his Bucks in the.
All right, I'm ready.
All right. Brett, who do you have at number 5?
Raptors.
Okay, Ian?
I have the Clippers.
It was the Knicks at number 5.
Oof.
All right. Ian, who do you have at 4?
The Raptors.
Brett?
The Knicks.
The Raptors are number 4, so Ian gets a point for that one. Brett, who do you have at 3?
Clippers.
Ian?
I have the Bucks.
Oh, the Cavs were number 3. All right, who do you have at 2, Ian?
I had the Knicks.
All right, Brett.
Cavs.
2's the Bucks.
Man, I knew the Bucks were 1 or 2 in this category. They've been insanely efficient this year.
All right, so who'd you both have at 1?
I had the Bucks.
I had the Cavs.
All right, so Clippers are number 1. So the Clippers are 48.1%, the Bucks are 47.9%, the Cavs are 47.6%, Raptors 47.3%, and the Knicks are 47.2%.
Jeez.
So Ian's got 2 points. Brett, you still have another chance because now I have an NFL one for you. Passing yards per game. Here are your 5 quarterbacks. Daniel Jones, Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence, Sam Darnold, and Jacoby Brissett.
Can't tell if like Brissett is a layup or if this is like a trick question.
Yeah.
Feels like a trap and a half.
That's why I went with these 5. So once again, you got Daniel Jones, Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence, Jacoby Brissett, Sam Darnold. Passing yards per game. Okay, seems like Brett's locked in. All right.
All right.
Once again, the score is Ian 2. Brett nothing. But look, if Brett can get all 5, maybe he can win it. Or gets 3 out of 5.
All right.
All right. Brett, who do you have at number 5?
I got Sam Darnold.
Okay, Ian?
I have Justin Herbert.
Number 5 is Justin Herbert. Ian gets the point. Who do you have at 4, Brett?
The wrong answer.
You don't know.
I'd say Daniel Jones.
Okay, Ian?
I have Jacoby Brissett.
Number 4 was Trevor Lawrence.
Oof.
No points there. All right, Brett, who do you have at 3?
Jacoby Brissett.
Okay, Ian?
I have Daniel Jones.
Number 3 was Sam Darnold.
Oof.
So I'm wrong on 1 and 2. I had Hermo and T-Law.
Okay. Ian, who was your 1 and 2? Well, I guess it was your 2 and 1, I guess just to say.
Trevor was 2 and Sam was 1.
Okay. So, number 1 was Jacoby Brissett. 2, Daniel Jones. 3, Sam Darnold. 4, Trevor Lawrence. 5, Justin Herbert. I guess to say Jacoby Brissett was 240 yards per game. Daniel Jones was 238.5. Sam Darnold was 238. Trevor Lawrence was 236. And Justin Herbert was 233 a game. All right, so Ian wins trivia yet again. Because last week we learned you were like the running back guru. Okay.
I don't know why. I'm just hilariously bad at trivia.
I mean,
It's a generational curse.
well, I mean, it's understandable. I feel like some of those were tough. Like the quarterback one, you think about it, you don't think Jacoby Brissett would be the number 1 out of that group. You just don't. But he did put up some big numbers with the Cardinals for a couple of weeks. But yeah, I mean, next week I'll have another question for you. What's up, 3 and D?
Hey.
Michael Finley was my guy. I loved watching Michael Finley play. Nowitzki, Steve Nash, yeah. So like I said, it's going on 3 and D. That's actually kind of all I had for you. Unless, look, 3 and D, you just popped in. Feel free to drop in a question. and we will end the show with your question if you got one.
Saying, hey, of course, T3 and D are welcome to join me in about an hour-ish, where I'll be hopping on with Mo 2 for and 1.
Mm-hmm.
I got a puppy prospect for tonight. We're gonna be I got a graphic for a little guy named Cam Boozer.
Who's either LeBron James or Michael O'Candy.
Oh, right.
There we go. 3 and D. Appreciate you. Will Kyler Murray help the Jets or the Dolphins?
I think he'd help the Dolphins more. I feel like they're just saving the Jets.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, so 3 and D, we did talk about Kyler Murray earlier.
Bills.
Brett feels like he's going to be a Viking. And Ian, you said
Browns.
Browns, yes.
I
Just
don't.
the Browns like to hoard QBs, but I also think Todd Monken's a great fit for him.
Yeah.
Say,
And we also think the Dolphins will just take Malik Willis because Halfley's there and it just makes too much sense.
I don't think the Bills should sign any more wide receivers. I think they're just so bad at doing that. They should probably just consider signing up just a ton of linemen and running wildcat and jumbo formations all game. Did you see that? Well, I'm guessing they're going to cut a couple of their guys, but the Bills have this. The Bills have the second most expensive wide receiver room in the league, only behind the Bengals, which is absurd to me.
Right.
Like,
the Bengals just have a guy like Chase and Higgins and those types, you know.
And it's incredible. Like, yeah, you go and you look at, like, for example, the Bengals, and you're like, yeah, I get it. They got talent, but like, it's just so absurd. How do you pay that much money to such a mediocre wide receiver group? Like, all right, Ian, who do you think the top 4 paid wide receivers are on the Bills? We'll include DJ Moore's number 1. Who are the other guys making money behind him?
Khalil Shakir.
He's number 4. There's 2 guys making more money than Khalil Shakir on the Bills, and it kills me every time.
Curtis Samuel.
Yep. If you don't remember the second guy's even on the team, I wouldn't blame you.
I'm trying to think of like some just random guy because that's who I'm thinking it is.
You're not wrong. It's Joshua Palmer. They're paying $11 million a year to.
Yeah.
Like Joshua Palmer and Curtis Samuel are making like a combined $20 million for who knows what reason.
Yeah.
And now you're paying $25 million to DJ Moore, and you gave up a second, which I think the price was, that's too high of a price for DJ Moore to pay. I'm not giving him a second and paying him $25 million. Like, that's absurd to me. So, like, DJ Moore's talented. I like the talent. I don't like the motor, though. He just gives up too much on plays. We saw this multiple times throughout the season. Like, to me, that's not a guy you paid $25 million for. But not only now are you paying him $25 million, you gave up a second rounder to get him. So, just to me, the Bills genuinely might be the worst evaluators of talent at the wide receiver position among like relevant teams. It's mind-boggling the moves they make.
And just the personnel that they bring out for packages on offense, I'm not really behind it. Like, why do you have Curtis Samuel over Keon coming in? I mean, Curtis Samuel's old. He's a little washed. You're paying him a lot of money. Expecting him to do what? Like, I don't get it. And then you're complaining.
The Keon Coleman drama from last year is incredible.
He's a great wide
he was like thrown in the doghouse. We didn't know why. It was just like once he was in there, that was it for him. He'd pop out every once in a while. He might miss a route, I guess. And then there was like, all right, we've seen enough. Just go sit down.
Maybe they'll trade him to the Giants for a 7th round pick. So
I would say, Ian, you could have stopped that sentence at "Why do they have Curtis Samuel?" and it would have been 100% justified.
Yeah,
Did they sign him for Carolina?
I think he was in there or Washington.
Yeah,
and they scooped him up from like a 3-year, like $30 million contract. You're like, I can get
Yeah.
a vet min guy to do what Curtis Samuel does. Like, what are you doing?
It's the Josh Allen effect. Because every year, the wide receiver group isn't good enough. They throw money at it, and now this is where they are. So 3&D does ask, best team for Stephon Diggs? I know the rumors are like Baltimore or Atlanta, Pittsburgh.
Just finish that washed receiver career arc, buddy. Baltimore or Tennessee.
Too bad there isn't a Utah team, because that would be his best fit, because he's about to be a Mormon.
So I will say, I guess the intriguing part with like Tennessee is that they have a young wide receiver group, and if he could kind of do the leadership thing like he did in New England, but yeah, something tells me he probably ends up in Baltimore because they just love doing this every year.
Yeah.
Sign the big name wide receiver, no matter how much miles they have left in the tank, but that's what they do.
Bro lost a Super Bowl and Cardi B and like $20 million a year all in the span of like 2 days.
Yeah.
Just a generational run by him at that point.
Yeah. Hot take: Max Crosby to the Seahawks. I know
don't know what
Bears are the favorite to get him, I think, but that's interesting. And then 3&D was guessing Dawson Knox.
Dawson Knox, fair. Brandon Cooks, a guy I always forget, and then he pops up one Sunday, and I'm like, oh, he's still kicking it around in the league, I guess. Okay. The funny part is, like, people are like, oh, they're going to cut Curtis Samuel. It's okay. Cool. Then there's still the fourth most expensive wide receiver room in the league. And for what?
Yeah. For us to have the same questions we had last year. Is the wide receiver room good enough? So I guess Josh Allen's got to make do with that yet again this year.
And I think the most ironic part about it is that DJ Moore was a guy that if he didn't get enough targets, he would just kind of check out of the offense. Didn't the Bills get rid of Stephon Diggs because he was complaining about not having enough targets, and he would just kind of check out if he didn't get enough targets? Like, you literally are like, hey, you know that thing that we didn't like that Diggs did? Let's go get like Tubi Stephon Diggs and run it back 2 years later.
Mm-hmm. Right, because I think the knock on, I guess, Allen was he was forcing it to Diggs too much. When he had a lot of those interceptions downfield, he was throwing to Diggs in like triple coverage. So if DJ Moore is going to be that same way, does Josh Allen go back to that tendency, which I think isn't best for Buffalo? But you just talked about it. That wide receiver room, as expensive as it is, the production doesn't match. So Josh Allen's going to have to, I guess, feel like he has to do everything, I guess. I don't know. I think the Patriots are up there too, but obviously moving off of Steph Diggs lowers that number. So,
yeah, I was gonna say I think they were up there, but I think I think a lot of these lists aren't accounting for them cutting Stephon Diggs since it can't happen until the start of the new league year. So, yeah, I think after they cut Diggs, they're gonna be paying what, like, correct me if I'm wrong, like 15-20 mil for their wide receivers, which I think they'll be in the market for another one.
Most expensive guy.
Sorry, they got future Hall of Famer Pop Douglas leading the charge. They good.
Yeah. Keyshawn Booty. And they're going to draft somebody, probably. I'm crossing my fingers. Omar Cooper. I'd love to see him in Patriot jersey. Probably doesn't happen, but I'd love to see it.
Say, Romeo Dobbs, get ready to learn. Get ready to learn New England, buddy.
See, I don't know where Romeo Dobbs goes necessarily. I mean, Brett, you're a Packers fan. Who is Romeo Dobbs as a wide receiver?
I'll say Romeo, he's been good for us. He's normally like he's been good at making contested catches. He normally has good hands. I know a lot of people point to, for example, the onside kick, but he's been good. He was good for us all year. Besides fumbling the onside kick, I think he's a high quality like number 2 receiver. I don't think he's a guy that you can just force feed targets and really expect it to work. But he's very good at taking advantage of zone defenses, and hey, he's a guy that he's shown that he can have hands for contested catches. So overall, he's a quality receiver. I like him.
Mm-hmm.
Say some team's going to be lucky. I think he's going to get like 15 to 20 mil a year, and some team's going to be happy with the product.
Yeah, I do. I'm interested to see where he does sign. Another guy, Alec Pierce, because something tells me some team might overpay for Alec Pierce because the wide receiver market is kind of. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'll say Alec Pierce rumors are wild. They're like, hey, you get $30 million. I'm like,
yeah, if you're paying that, you're probably going to lose your job next year.
Kenny Galladay 2.0.
Right. Well, that's the thing. Like this free agent class, it's kind of every year in free agency. There's always those deals that you look back and you go, I don't know who your agent is, but shout out to them for getting you that kind of deal. And then there's obviously those that fly under the radar as well.
If you ever want to trigger a Giants fan, just walk up behind him and whisper 4 years, 72.
Yeah.
Kenny Galladay.
Nightmare.
They're immediately swinging on you, but just be ready.
Yeah. I mean, hey, good thing is, we're speculating right now, and moves are going to start happening. We'll obviously have a lot of that to talk about in the next coming weeks. We'll also, like I said, get into NFL draft talk. Got March Madness coming up as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun here on the show. I know, Brett, you did say, let everybody know, got and one coming up here in a little bit. Ian, got anything you want to add before we get out of here?
Nope.
All right. Ian's just waiting for that Giants news so he can either celebrate or be wildly upset like the rest of us with our teams.
If they draft Jeremiah Love, I'm throwing something at the TV.
I keep seeing him getting mocked to the Saints at 8. Which I'm like, okay, I guess.
Every year on draft night, we do a watch along of the draft for sideline to sideline. I need you to come on that show just to react to the Giants pick.
Because we do that. If your team is picking and you want to come on, we'll let you come on to get your actual reaction to the pick. Because too bad we couldn't get a Falcon fan last year for the Michael Penix pick.
I feel like we would have gotten taken off the air.
Yeah, I mean, look, that pick happened. Our reactions were, we were dumbfounded by that one.
Honestly, that might have been one of my favorite moments of the draft watch along is when Penix got drafted, because we all thought Godfrey was trolling us when he told us that.
But yeah, it's going to happen again this year. I don't know who it's going to be. Maybe it is Carson Beck. I'm trying to think who was the combine, it was probably one of the wide receivers or something, because they went through a run where every wide receiver was running 4.35 to 4.28, and I was just like, there's no way teams aren't going to jump at that and go get one of those in the first round, because teams love speed. Doesn't always translate, Darius Hayward Bay, but hey, you draft speed.
I love the Darius Hayward Bay. Shout out to combine legend John Ross.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Just wait till we get pro days and these guys do even better numbers. Then it's going to go even crazy. It's going to be Cleveland. They're going to trade for a QB and then draft the QB and under that. Yeah. If Cleveland somehow took Ty Simpson or something in the first round, I feel like Browns fans are going to absolutely lose it. Because it's going to be you got Gabriel, you got Shador, you got Watson, did it, and then all the other guys are still paying who aren't even there, and you're going to throw in another quarterback in the first round. That's nothing against Ty Simpson, by the way. I'm just first quarterback that popped in my head. But, yeah, if they draft a quarterback anywhere earlier than the fourth round, I think Browns fans will revolt.
I feel like if they draft a quarterback, the Browns fans will revolt. You
Yeah.
just can't take a quarterback a year after you took 2 last year.
Yeah.
Like, what's the end game? Like, stockpile quarterbacks and hope one of them hits? Like, you still have to develop him. Like, you couldn't even develop 2 quarterbacks. What makes you think you can develop 3? Unless you're just going to keep, like, rotating them out. Like, nope, yep, Gabriel, you're out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Bennett, or, Beck, you're in. Oh, Beck, you didn't work out. Bring in the next one.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. Like I said, this is the time of year where you see the good organizations, how they operate, and the ones who wonder why they're constantly, I guess, looking to improve the team year after year, finishing bottom in their division. We understand why. But yeah, so like I said, we're on Thursday this week. We'll be back to Monday next week. So make sure you tune in Monday. We'll have another show lined up for you. We'll have some more trivia. We'll have some more fun. Appreciate all of you that were in the chat. We really do. Just a reminder once again, in about 40 minutes or so, and one with Brett and Mo. So if you want to talk NBA, they will be on to talk all things NBA. I'm sure Hornets conversation may pop up again. I feel like it's going to happen. Maybe Tatum talk.
Okay,
Yeah.
We'll definitely talk about Tatum. I saw the rumors that Glenn might be retiring at the end of the year, which would be the greatest day of my life.
I know you'll throw a party when.
I will go to Pfizer Forum to make sure he's like gone. Like, I'm watching. Like, is that him leaving? Oh yeah, he gone.
Yeah. I mean, look, he's had an interesting career. I mean, he rode the Coach of the Year with the Magic to the title with the Celtics, and he's been hanging on to that for years. With all the Clippers failures and everything, he's still getting a job. So, yeah, good for him. Maybe he'll go back to TV. I don't know.
As long as it's not in Milwaukee. I don't even want him on TV in Milwaukee.
I assume he'll probably, what was he, TNT before they don't have it anymore, but maybe he's a Peacock kind of guy. I don't know. Who knows? One of them.
There you go.
But yeah, so make sure you guys come back next week. So enjoy the rest of your night, week, and we'll see you again Monday. So for myself, Ian, not guarding the 2, guarding the 3, Brett, we'll see you Monday. All right, bye.